All right, let's dive into the world of kitchen cabinets, specifically House of Cabinet. This website, it's like a wonderland for anyone who loves kitchens. Maybe you're planning a renovation, maybe you just like to stay on top of design trends, or hey, maybe you're like me and just find this stuff fascinating.
Yeah, I get that. And House of Cabinet is like the perfect place to geek out on all things cabinets. They've got a ridiculous amount of stuff on there. Over 40,000 styles and colors.
Seriously. Wow, that's a lot to take in.
It is. And they've got brands like Forevermark, Faberwood, all the big names. Plus a ton of accessories I never even knew existed.
Okay, so before we get lost in all those options, what are some of the standout things you noticed on the site?
Well, the first thing that jumped out at me was this whole section on blue cabinets. Apparently blue is like the hot color right now for kitchens.
Blue, really?
Yeah, blue. And they break down all the different shades and how we create different vibes. Like a navy blue can give you a really sophisticated look, while a lighter blue can be uh, more calming, airy.
Okay, that's interesting. I never would have thought of blue for cabinets.
Right. It's kind of cool. And then there's this whole trend of European style cabinets, which, let me tell you, House of Cabinet really showcases those
I
beautifully.
saw those sleep lines, the minimalist look, very cool. But okay, back up a sec. Let's say I'm like completely overwhelmed by all these choices. How does House of Cabinet help me actually navigate this massive selection?
Well, they've got it all organized into like these main categories. So you've got your base cabinets, your wall cabinets, vanities, and then, of course, all the accessories.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then within each category, there are like a zillion subcategories. So for base cabinets, you can choose from single door, double door, drawers, corner units, you name it. They've got everything covered.
So even if you think you know what you want, it's worth exploring all those subcategories.
Oh, absolutely. You might discover something you never even thought of before.
Good point. Okay, so we've got categories and subcategories. What about brands? Any standout names we should know?
Forevermark and Fabuwood seem to be like the stars of the show on House of Cabinet.
Yeah, I noticed those names kept popping up. What are they known for?
Forevermark, they're all about eco-friendliness and those timeless designs that never really go out of style.
So if you're looking for style and sustainability, Forevermark is a good bet.
Exactly. Now, Fabuwood, they're all about customization and what they call innovative storage solutions. So think like pull-out spice racks, fancy drawer dividers, that kind of thing.
Ah, so Fabu Wood is for the super organized folks who want to maximize every inch of space.
You got it. And then, of course, you have to consider materials. Solid wood, oak, maple, birch, that's always a classic. But you've also got MDF, plywood, and laminate.
Right, because choosing a material isn't just about looks, it's about how it will actually hold up in a busy kitchen. So give us the rundown. What are the key things our listeners should be thinking about when comparing materials?
Well, solid wood is it's definitely considered I guess, the gold standard. Oak and walnut are known for being super strong, if you've got heavy pots and pans to store.
Makes sense. Solid wood, it's got that classic appeal. But what about if you're working with a tighter budget?
Well, MDF is a good choice then. It's more budget friendly and it gives you that smooth modern look because it takes paint really well. And then there's plywood, which is known for being, really stable and moisture resistant, which is good for cabinet boxes.
So plywood for the structural parts, MDF for the parts you see where you want a nice finish. Got it.
Exactly. And then there's laminate, which is like the most budget-friendly option. It's durable, easy to clean, and they've got tons of colors and patterns to choose from.
Okay, so we've covered the basic categories, some top brands, a quick rundown of materials. It's like we're building a foundation here, helping our listener understand the world of kitchen cabinets. Where should we go next?
Well, you mentioned something about the impact of color and how blue cabinets are trendy right now. Let's dig into that a bit more.
Sounds good to me. Color's always fun to talk about.
Yeah, so House of Cabinet, they really dive into the whole blue cabinet thing. It's not just like picking any old shade of blue. It's more nuanced than that.
Okay, yeah, tell me more about that. What are some of the things House of Cabinet points out?
Well, they talk about how different shades of blue can like evoke different styles, like a deep navy that could be really sophisticated, kind of dramatic even,
All right.
but then a paler blue that's more relaxed, more airy.
Okay, that makes sense. I can see that.
And they even get into like how to pair different blues with countertops and backsplashes and stuff.
Oh, wow, so they really cover all the bases.
They do. They do. And it's not just about blue. They talk about other colors too, like how white can make a space feel bigger.
Right, white always opens things up.
Exactly. And then gray, that's like the ultimate neutral. Goes with well, it goes with pretty much anything.
So I'm hearing that picking a cabinet color is like, it's more than just, oh, I like this color.
Yeah, it's about understanding how color can like set the whole mood for your kitchen.
It's like picking the right paint color for a room. It can totally change the vibe.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, so we've talked styles, materials, colors. What about all those cool features House of Cabinet shows? You know, like those lazy Susans and all those fancy storage
Oh
solutions.
yeah, those could be game changers. It's all about, making your kitchen work for you.
Right, right. It's not just cabinets, it's got to be functional.
Exactly. Like they showed these pull-out trash cans, and I was like, why have I never had one of these?
I know, right? So simple, but so brilliant.
Totally. And those spice racks that like slide out of the drawer, no more rummaging around trying to find the oregano.
Genius.
And then for smaller kitchens, they've got those angled cabinets, which are, well, they're pretty clever for maximizing space.
Yeah, yeah, I saw those. Especially if you've got like a tight corner. Those seem like they'd be great.
Oh, for sure. And, speaking of smaller kitchens, that brings us back to those European-style cabinets.
Oh, yes. Tell me more about those. They're like so chic, so modern.
They are. And House of Cabinet does a good job of showing, all the different options. It's not just about the look, though. European design is all about, like, efficiency and functionality.
Right. It's like every inch of space has a purpose.
Exactly. Like, think about those handleless cabinets that just blend right into the wall.
And the appliances that are hidden behind cabinet panels, it's like so sleek and seamless.
It is. It is. It's a style that definitely appeals to a certain, a certain kind of person. Someone who appreciates clean lines, minimalist design.
Right, right. Okay, so let's say our listener has, explored styles, figured out materials, found the perfect color. Now they have to decide. Custom cabinets or ready to assemble. House of Cabinet offers both, right?
Yep, they do. And that's a big decision for a lot of people.
It is, because both options have their pros and cons. So break it down for us. Custom versus RTA, what are the things our listener needs to consider?
Okay, well, with custom cabinets, you're getting exactly what you want. They're built to your exact specs. So you can customize everything, the size, the shape, the type of wood, the finish. But that level of customization, well, it comes at a price.
Right, custom cabinets are definitely an investment. What about RTA? What's the appeal there?
Well, RTA is definitely more budget friendly, and it's become really popular with with people who like to do DIY projects.
Right, you get that satisfaction of putting it together yourself.
Exactly. Now, you might not get the same level of customization as you do with custom, but House of Cabinet actually has a surprisingly good selection of RTA styles and finishes.
So you don't have to sacrifice style just to save some money.
Exactly. It really comes down to, your budget, how comfortable you are with DIY, and how important that customization is to you.
Makes sense. Oh, you know what else I noticed on the website? They have a whole section about undersink cabinets.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and it's like it's not something I would have thought about specifically, but they make a good point about, really utilizing that space.
It's true. That space often just becomes, a black hole of cleaning supplies.
Exactly. But House of Cabinet shows all these like pull-out shelves and organizers that are, specifically designed for under the sink.
It's all about making the most of every little nook and cranny. And that's one of the things I like about House of Cabinet. They really think about all the details.
Yeah, they do. Okay, so we've covered a lot here. Styles, materials, colors, all these cool special features, even custom versus RTA. It's safe to say House of Cabinet has like a pretty impressive selection.
They do. And I think we've given our listener a good overview of all the things to think about when choosing kitchen cabinets.
We have, but even with all this info, it can still feel a little overwhelming. What advice would you give our listener as they start to, really dig into this process?
That's a good question. I guess I would say don't get too caught up in trends. Focus on, what you actually need and want in your kitchen.
That's a good point. It's easy to get distracted by what's like the hot new thing.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's your kitchen and it needs to work for you.
So think about your priorities. How do you use your kitchen? What are the things that are like most important to you?
Exactly. And you know what? Don't be afraid to like play around with different ideas. House of Cabinet has these cool online tools that let you, experiment with different styles and colors and stuff.
Oh yeah, those tools are great. And don't forget about the emotional aspect of it.
The emotional aspect.
Yeah, like the kitchen is often, it's the heart of the home.
It is. It is. It's where everyone gathers.
Exactly. So as you're looking at all these options on House of Cabinet, think about how you want your kitchen to feel.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want it to be like bright and airy?
Or warm and cozy?
Do you want it to feel like modern and sleek?
Or more rustic?
There's no right or wrong answer. It's all about what feels right to you.
Exactly. It's your kitchen, your haven. It's true. It's true. It's easy to get caught up in, the practical stuff, but how your kitchen makes you feel. That's important too.
Oh, for sure. And House of Cabinet, I think they get that. They're not just showing you cabinets, they're showing you like a lifestyle.
Right? Like I was looking at their photos and it's all, families cooking together, friends hanging out. It makes you like actually picture yourself in that space.
Exactly. And that kind of brings us back to that whole tactile thing we were talking about. Remember how we were saying, like, you got to think about how different materials feel.
Oh, yeah. Like metal is cool, wood is warm. You can't just look at a picture. You gotta feel it.
Yeah, and those sensations, they play into the whole feel of your kitten.
It's true. It's true. Like there's something about a solid wood cabinet door. It's got that weight to it.
It does. It does. At House of Cabinet, they even recommend ordering samples. So you can actually touch and feel the materials before you commit.
Oh, that's a good idea. It's like, like test driving a car. You got to make sure it feels right.
Exactly. Exactly. And speaking of materials, we've mentioned solid wood, MDF, plywood, laminate, but maybe we should like really break those down a bit more.
Yeah, let's do that. So solid wood, what are the key things to know about that?
Well, solid wood, it's the classic choice. It's durable, it's beautiful, and it never, well, pretty much never goes out of style. They use hardwoods like oak, maple, cherry, walnut.
And each type of wood, it's got its own personality,
Oh
right?
yeah, for sure. The grain pattern, the color, it's all different depending on the wood. And that adds character to your kitchen.
It does, it does. And I imagine the type of wood also affects the price tag.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Some hardwoods are, they're rarer, so they cost more. Like oak is usually more affordable than walnut, for
Oh,
example.
okay, that makes sense.
And then there's, the whole environmental aspect to consider. Solid wood is renewable, which is good,
Right, right.
but you want to make sure it's sustainably sourced.
Yeah, we got to protect those trees.
Exactly. Now, if solid wood is like out of your price range, MDF and plywood are good alternatives. MDF is great for getting that smooth painted look,
Right, right.
and plywood is, well, it's known for being really stable and moisture resistant.
So like for under the sink, plywood might be a better choice.
Yeah, good point. And then, you've got laminate, which it's the most budget friendly. Plus, it comes in like a gazillion colors and patterns.
It's amazing all the choices we have these days. It really lets you, you can create a kitchen that's truly yours.
It does. It does. And you know what? We've talked a lot about materials and colors, but we haven't really gotten into like specific cabinet styles.
Oh, right, like shaker style versus, modern flat front cabinets. That's a big decision too.
It is. It is. And House of Cabinet shows a whole range of styles. Like shaker cabinets, those are always a safe bet.
Yeah, they're like classic, timeless.
Exactly. And they work in pretty much any kitchen, traditional, modern, whatever. And then you've got flat panel cabinets, which are, well, they're super popular in modern kitchens.
Those are the ones with like the really clean lines, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No fuss, no muss. And a lot of times they'll have those integrated handles.
Oh, yeah, or even the push to open mechanisms.
Exactly. So sleek. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got raised panel cabinets. Those are more traditional, a little more fancy.
Yeah, they're definitely more ornate. Like you might see them in a farmhouse kitchen or something.
Right, exactly. It's amazing how like just changing the cabinet style can totally change the whole look of a kitchen.
It really can. It really can. And beyond style, there's the whole, the functionality aspect. Like, do these cabinets actually work for how I live?
That's a good point. And House of Cabinet, they definitely get that. Like they show all these cool features, lazy Susans, pull-out shelves, drawer organizers.
I'm telling you, those pull-out spice racks are like life-changing.
Oh, I know, right? No more digging through cabinets. And then, don't underestimate the power of good lighting.
Lighting is so key, especially in a kitchen.
It makes such a difference. Brightens things up, makes it feel more inviting.
Okay, so as we wrap up our dive into House Cabinet, what's the big takeaway for our listener?
I think the main thing is, take your time, don't rush into anything. Look at all the options and don't be afraid to ask for help. House of Cabinet they have design experts who can, they can help you through the whole process.
That's a good point. There's no shame in getting some expert advice. And most importantly, I think, have fun with it. Designing your dream kitchen should be an exciting thing.
Oh, it definitely should be. It's a big project, but it's a fun one.
And remember, there's no right or wrong answer. It's all about what makes you happy.
What makes you happy? So, to our listener out there who's about to embark on this journey, good luck.
We're rooting for you. And we hope you end up with a kitchen that you absolutely love.
Cheers to that. 22-6.